Hello beautiful, hello bestie, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this video where we are gonna do, I have it here, we're gonna try some new makeup. This might be a full face of new makeup. I'm excited. Some things here I have been very much looking forward to try. We're gonna try them out, we're gonna see if they're good. We're gonna see if this is as much of a fail as my last video where I was trying a full face of new makeup, because that was, that was a ride. Choices were made. If you haven't been here before, please consider subscribing. I love beauty, I love makeup, I love color. Upload about 5-6 videos a week. So if that sounds like something you enjoy, this might be the place for you, but let's jump in. So I did buy, and I said I was gonna buy the new foundation and powder by House Labs by Lady Gaga. I have been just opening these packages because I wanted to look at the packaging. It looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. I feel like it's really hard to pick a shade. I decided on the 280 light medium neutral. It says it has a peachy undertone. And when I hold it up, I'm like, is this too dark? I will say my chest and my shoulders are darker than my face because I do like some exfoliation in my face. Summer tan is still going strong, so I'm hoping that this is gonna work out. This is heavy. You could kill a bitch with this. This is very, very heavy, and it has a pump. And the powder, I also opened this one so I can look at it. I got this in translucent. Very excited to be trying these out. It sounded like something I would really enjoy. It's not as heavy. This is plastic and this is glass. That's the difference. And it has a sifter in here, and I haven't opened this, but we will. I will not be using a primer today because I want to see how this foundation is. Hopefully not as bad as the one I used last week. But yeah, let's zoom in and we can try this because you can't see anything from here. Let's zoom in. I'll apply this on oh, it's very liquidy. Very liquidy. Doesn't smell really like anything. It's definitely a shade too dark, but that could end up matching me pretty good. I'll put it on half my face because, like I said, my face is definitely a shade too light after me using quite a lot of exfoliators on my face to try to get rid of some of the texture that I got during my 10-day road trip, because who would have known that a 10-day road trip on different motels around the country would just ruin your skin? I mean, I could have guessed that, but still, here we are. That is a beautiful finish. It doesn't look cakey at all. It looks like my skin, but just with a medium coverage. Oh, that is so lovely. And I feel like the color is pretty good because now I have it on half my face, like on this side, and I don't have it on this side. But I feel you can definitely see that it's so far very glowy. I did put on some skincare, but no primer, but we can see if this sets down. I prefer a foundation that sets down a little bit on its own. I prefer if I don't have to powder my entire face, but I mean, we have this powder, so we will, but that's just something I prefer. But wow, this looks beautiful. I love a liquidy foundation. Usually those look the best on the skin, in my humble opinion. I feel like it matches my hands pretty good, so I actually think that this might be a good shade. I was worried when it said peach undertone, because sometimes peach undertone can be really good, like a neutral with a peach undertone can be great. I prefer a neutral with a golden undertone, but sometimes it can lean a little pink, but I don't think that this leans pink. I actually think this looks, I think it looks really good. We're gonna save the powder for a bit because we're gonna be using some, calm down. We're gonna be using some of these products. I bought these at Ulta, and these are the new products by Milani. So these are more drugstore product. This is the Conceal and Perfect like under eye brightener. I got this in number 2. This is the Conceal and Perfect liquid contour. I also got this in number 2, and it is a liquid highlighter. I also got this in number 2. Wow, it seems to be an ongoing theme here with the shade number 2. So I'm just gonna open these. It has a little bit of a tape thing on. I haven't used these at all. This has a puff. This puff is smaller than the puffs on the Charlotte Tilbury, for example, but it is not as hard as the puff on the Makeup Revolution ones. And this actually disperses product throughout the puff, which is something that the Makeup Revolution ones does not. So I am gonna, oh, this is a really corrector peachy thing. It seems to be more of a corrector than a concealer. Sometimes these correctors have enough coverage so that you can use them like on their own, but we're gonna see if it's possible with this one. Do I have anything that's somewhat clean? This is a little Duo Fiber brush from, I think it's from Colourpop. No, it is not. It's from Glam Shop. This is the 121 from Glam Shop. That looks really nice though. Maybe I will use this just as a concealer and see how it is. I will say the foundation is like a medium coverage foundation. Very glowy so far, but we're gonna see in a bit. Like I said, I did just recently put on some skincare underneath as well, so maybe that could have affected it. This is a first impression, and first impressions are all fine and dandy, but I always try out things more, and I always come back about a month later. First I do a haul where I let you know about my initial thoughts, and then I will do a roundup review 1 month later where I'll tell you how I feel about the products once I've tried them out. But I do think that that looks really good. It did cancel out most of the darkness, I feel. Like not all of it, but most of it. And of course this is gonna look even more concealed once we have powder over it, because a matte surface will reflect less of the unevenness, let's say. So we'll put that to the side and we'll go in with the number 2 Ginger, which is the contour. And this is really small for being a contour though. Hi Kaisa. I don't know if I love how small this is. I think the puffs are too small. We're gonna do a little bit like that. I do love using a brush for my cream and liquid bronzers. I like just like this, pushing them in. Does that work? I don't know. I feel like I have a cat hair here. It's itchy. I don't know if that really worked. It's a very subtle contour, but again, this is shade 2. There were more shades, but if you like a more intense color and you're my shade, I'm gonna do the sponge instead. I think that's better. I think that maybe do a shade darker than this, because it is, I mean, it's there, but it's very subtle. But that's like nice too. I think that this looks really good. I'll save the highlighter for later because I have a blush that I want to use as well, but that looks nice. I'm very glowy though. Let me fix the rest of this and we can see exactly how glowy I am. I feel like I need powder or help or a divine intervention. You pick. So I do like how that looks quite a lot, but I am very glowy and I didn't love the applicator. I think the poofs need to be a little bigger, if I'm gonna be honest. I did buy one of these About Face cream blushes because they're so cute. I bought this is the Cheek Freak Blush Balm, and I bought it in Raunchy, which is in orange. Who's surprised? Not me. I'm gonna use my finger. Ooh, this is very creamy, and is it too opaque? That's nice though. I don't like putting my blushes too far down, so I try to keep them up here and towards my temples. I think it fits my dogs are so dramatic. I think it fits my face shape and like the effect that I want my makeup to give. This definitely feels very balmy. Like very balmy, to the point where I'm like, I'm personally might have preferred something that's slightly less balmy / greasy and just a little bit more pigmented, but that could also be personal preference. I think it looks pretty though, but it is very balmy, greasy, and pretty sheer. I mean, you can see it's pretty sheer. It looks nice, but is it like my favorite? Is it gonna be my favorite formula ever? I doubt that. I do doubt that. Let's try the powder. Let me see if I can get a tweezer and we can just get this off. You go away. So this is what it looks like. It has a little sifter. I think I might use, ooh, I'm using the sponge in the sifter. Should I be just putting some of this here? I like putting more powder in the places where I know that I have creasing, which is around my nose, under my eyes, and here. Because I have like a divot here where I usually get a little creasing. It definitely melts into the skin. It is very finely milled. That is half my face with powder and half without. And I definitely think that we can see a really nice difference. Really nice difference. Let me see, I'm just dipping my powder brush in here. It's very easy to pick up. That looks matte, but not flat. Like there's still a little thing going on. I'm not gonna powder up here because I am gonna use a little bit of the liquid highlighter. But yeah, that looks matte, but not flat. So far, I'm fairly impressed with this. I decided to do my brows while I was waiting for the foundation to set down a little bit. I will say, when I touch it, it does feel a little, not tacky, but like a little still moisturizing. Like it's not tacky. It definitely does not come off on my hands like the Patrick Ta did. It's still like set there, but it's not feeling dry or powdery or like totally set down. It could also be that I did actually use a moisturizer pretty close to filming, and I maybe did not give it entire like enough time to like set down. So next time I use it, I'm gonna make sure that I don't do that, just to see how it is. But yeah, it definitely doesn't feel dry or powdery. It feels like there's still a little tack, but without being sticky, left in my face. But most importantly, it doesn't come off when I touch my face, which the Patrick Ta like came off on my fingers. The instant I touched it, I had it on my fingers, which was very, 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 very annoying. So I will put, like I did with the other foundation, I will put a pinned comment down below telling you how I felt about this product. And if you are early here and you don't see a pinned comment, just press F5 to reload once you finish watching the video, and the comment will be there. I'm just gonna, should I start with one side? Maybe I should. Let me see if I can actually use like a little brush. So yeah, I will link everything that I'm using down below in case you're like, what shade did she use or what product was she talking about? That looks Did we find an actual spotlight contender in the dupe marathon for duping Charlotte Tilbury? The puff isn't as good as it is on the Charlotte Tilbury, but this looks incredible. Wow, that is pretty. Wow, let me see if I can. I like putting a little glow atop of my brows because I have a very, very, very short and small forehead. And I try to elongate it a little bit by putting some highlighter there. This is shade 2, and you see when I don't blend it out, there's a little darker cast here. So there was a lighter shade, and I know there was at least one shade darker as well. This shade will most probably work on a tan skin tone as well. I mean, you can even see there's a little cast. This probably is a little bit too dark for me, which means that maybe the lightest shade, I'm gonna do a little here, maybe the lightest shade will be a little bit too dark if you have a very fair skin tone, because I usually am not able to make the lightest tone in any highlighter look good on me without being very icy. But I think it looks good. Maybe it's the blush. It could be the blush. It could be the blush. But the glow, stunning. That looks really good. Okay, I'm very very impressed by these Milani things. The only thing I don't love is the packaging. Other than that, I think it looks really good. I did buy the 2 lip liners by Give Beauty. They did come out with 2 different formulas in different shades, and I bought the nude one, or 1 nude in each, I should say. So let me show you the difference. One of them is called Anaheim Line, and it is a pencil lip liner, and the other one is called Pout to Get Real Overlining Lip Pencil. This is the Anaheim one, and it's just like a wooden pencil. I like lip liners like this. Yeah, this is a good formula. It's creamy, but not too creamy, so it's very easy to be precise with it. That is a great color as well. Really like this one. It did come in another one. This one looks like the brow pencil. Like it's the same packaging. This is the brow pencil that I'm using today, and I'm almost done with mine. This is, I can't twist it up more. Like I'm almost done. And it has almost like a spaceship kind of a shape, and this one has the same. That, like, you can see it almost look like a spaceship. So you're meant to be precise with it, but also fill in your entire lips if you want to. I'm guessing there's a brush in the other end. Yeah, there's a little brush here if you want to like do some detailed work. I think that's really cool. And it's nice to see that something as innovative as this tip is being used in more products. I like to see that. This is also pigmented, but not overly creamy, so it's easy to be precise with it. I think this formula is more like a typical like lip liner. This one has a little bit more of a not so pigmented formula, which is like, this is meant to be doing like overlining and filling it in and like shading. And then I guess you can fill in more. I don't know if this is creamy enough to warrant having a brush, but it's nice to have the brush for the lipstick, I guess, if you're gonna have something on top. Ah, my lips are so dry. Don't look at that. I really like the color of this formula, but I think for the lips, I do actually prefer just a regular lip liner. Oh, you can really tell that there is some glow back here. Do I need more powder? Right? You can tell that there is some glow coming through. Is it the moisturizer or is it the foundation? Because like, look at the difference when I applied a little bit more powder. That's gonna be interesting to take a look at. I also did in the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, I did buy another one of the Too Faced Hangover Pillow Balms. I love the one I have. I have it in Banana, and this one is in Cocoa Kiss. This is a lip treatment that smells. This one smells like if you ever had Aladdin, the Aladdin chocolate box in Sweden. This smells like liqueur pralines. There's something, I don't want to say fruity, but there's something like fruit in here. This is like a treatment for the lips that is a little bit cooling, that has a little bit of a milky tint, and I love these. The banana one is living in my purse at all times. Turned out really good. Okay, let's dive into some eyeshadow. I feel pretty accomplished with how we are so far. We are gonna do the Violet Sage by Ace Beauty. I haven't tried this. I love Ace Beauty formula. It's one of my favorite formulas, especially the mattes. I'll pull up some swatches of this while you're watching this. I did buy this myself from Ace Beauty, but I do have a code with Ace Beauty. My code is Angelica, and you can save 10% when you're shopping at the site. I did see that my friend Karen Harris was trying this palette, and she was not super impressed. I'm gonna apply some primer. So we are gonna see if I feel the same or if you have different preferences. Just because you're friends with someone and just because you have similar preferences in some makeup doesn't mean that you always have the same preferences in everything. So we are gonna see how I feel about this, because sometimes you end up doing your makeup different. I hope this is the same good Ace Beauty formula that I know and love, and that this isn't like the old formula that I thought was just decent and not like great. Because the new Ace Beauty formula, the one that you can find in, well, I'm hoping all palettes on the website at this point, it's just so great. It's such a good matte formula. It is buildable, blendable, pigmented, like it's honestly just a really good formula. So I'm hoping I'm gonna love this one, but we will see. I haven't, as I'm filming this, I haven't swatched it. I haven't done anything with this. So I'm just very, very intrigued. I kind of want to do just everything. I think I'm gonna see if I can use everything except these two. This is at least how I'm feeling now. I'm gonna see if I can use all of these mattes on my top. That's my goal. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start with Hydrangea, which is the dark purple, and I'm just gonna see what I can do. I'm starting with the darkest one now because I really want to have a deep and intense outer corner like that. I'm not gonna pull it out anymore, but like when you really want to have the color to be the shade that it is in the palette, start with that color and only blend the edges. Don't layer anything on top, because just with everything, the more you layer on top, the more it's gonna like change into like a new color. So I'm gonna leave this like this because I want this to be a super dark, intense, blurple outer corner. I'm gonna take the lighter violet, oh, that's called violet, and I'm just gonna push that around the edges, and then we can layer some of the dark on top of the lighter in my inner part. I just really wanted to make sure that this outer corner was as dark as it could be. I'm gonna perfect the edges and everything once we get to it. So I've used these two shades, and now I'm gonna use these two shades, and I'm gonna put that in the middle, and I'll probably put the red in between. Should I do the red first? No, I'm gonna do the green. And now I'm gonna start with the lightest green. That is called Sage. And I am gonna put that, what a nice color. I'm gonna put that here. So I'm not meeting up because, like I said, we're gonna try and see if we can have the red in between. Maybe I can have the two darker colors, like the more browny, mauvey. They're not browny, they're like, what is this? It's like a purpley grungy plum. Grungy plum, yes, that's the one. I think maybe we could do those on the lower lash line. And then I would have used all the colors. Oh, I like that color a lot. So this is the Juniper shade, which is the darker green. I am gonna see if I can just add a little bit of contrast and depth into the inner part of my crease here. Nothing too dramatic. And again, I'm not perfecting it yet because that is pretty. This could probably be such a good like two shadow look, because there's such a nice contrast between them, but they seem to be blending together nicely. Like putting this darker one in the crease, blending it all out with the lighter one, and then putting the lighter one on the lid and in the inner corners. That will probably be such a nice matte look with just two shadows. And I'll do the Starflower, which is that like muted red. I have no idea if this is gonna work out or not, so I'm not too worried about this part. That's gonna sort itself out. I'm just gonna put a little bit of red down here, so it's gonna be easier once I get to that. But I'm just cleaning off the brush again, so I go in with a brush that I've taken the product out of, and I'm blending this top edge, not trying to be too big in my motions because I don't want this to be muddy. I can't blend the red into the purple, so in that direction I'm not too worried. I can move it along a little more sloppy, but then I have to clean my brush and be more careful on this side and just be more mindful because it's going to turn muddy real fast. I'll do a little bit of the Begonia, which is the pink matte, and I'll blend on the edge with the Begonia. Maybe I should use that one in my inner corners if we're gonna be honest. It is a little bit muddy, but I feel like it's okay. Like it's not perfection, but it's good enough, which is what I'm trying to achieve. So this is Umber, and I'm just gonna do this on the entire lower lash line. And then I would layer some of that shimmer just on the inner part. This is actually such a nice color. It is somewhat in the same ballpark as Soot in my palette with Oden's Eye, just not as deep as that one. So this is Cosmos. I think I'm gonna spray it. It seems to be like a plummy brown metallic with some gold flecks in it. Oh my god. Put some setting spray on my eyes. That's really pretty. I think that that would make an amazing lid color if you're doing a smoky eye. It resembles a lot of these kind of like dark metallics, which means that they are usually not hyper reflective because of the darkness in them, but it does look really good there. It gives a little glimmer to the lower lash line. Okay, so I have 2 shimmers left, the 2 pinks. So we're gonna do that on the lid. I'll start with this one, and then I'll put this one towards the inner part, and then I'll do a little bit more of the pastel pink. I've used that a little bit, but I don't feel like I've used that enough to warrant like my opinion on it. But let me spray this wisteria one, and we'll put that here. Oh, that's actually really light and reflective. I'm not gonna cover the outer corner with this one. I'll meet up with some of the purple in a bit. Okay, so this is gonna be the second pink shimmer that's called Anemone. Do you say, in Sweden you would say anemone, but is it anemone? Not 100% sure. These 2 pink shimmers are both beautiful, but they're a little similar. I think especially now when I put them side by side, there's not that much of a difference. I kind of wish that they would have switched one of these shimmers into even like a, to be honest, a light beige shimmer would have gone well if they didn't want to do a green shimmer. Because I do feel like these 2 pink shimmers are maybe just a tad similar. There's nothing wrong with them, they're just a little similar. So this is the Begonia shade again, the one that's like a pastel pink. Let me see if I can put that in the inner corners. This was a very small brush. Could have used a little bigger brush. Okay, initial impressions. I don't think that this Begonia is pigmented / thick enough to be fully a like inner corner highlight on me. It blends out a little bit. It would have needed a little bit more pigment or a little bit more substance to be like an inner corner or like a lid shade on its own. You might need to layer this on top of an eyeshadow base. That is a shame though, because I love a nice pastel matte. But it is a nice blending out shade though. It worked really good up here. So yeah, this is the look. Is it like absolute perfection? No, I also used every single shade in this palette just to see how I like feel, how I like it. And I personally like the palette. I didn't have any problems with any of the shadows other than me putting every shade on my face, of course, makes things a little bit more difficult. So this look is a little chaotic. It is a little somewhat muddy. I do wish that the pinks were a little bit more different, but I personally don't feel like I had any problems with the look per se. Maybe I want to do black again. This is the Give Beauty. I have been into more like dramatic, sultry, smoky things. I think that this could be it. I actually bought a pair of new lashes as well. This is the Kiss Lashes in Lash Drip Spiky X Boosted Volume. I saw these on my friend Heather Austin and I was like, I need those. So I bought them. They look so cool and so dramatic. My eye is a little muddy. Look past that. I was trying to use all the color. Look past. Don't look at that. I think I'm gonna have to probably cut these a bit. They are very long, as you like, look at how extra long they are. So I think I'm gonna be cutting quite a bit. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to cut quite a bit. I'll put it on one eye I will see how it looks on one eye. Okay, so I just put this on. I haven't finished it. Is that a word? Did I made that up. I haven't like perfected it. I don't like when the lashes go all the way in here. I usually cut a bit because I don't like how that looks. But yeah, this is like with and without the lash. I mean, I do prefer with the lash. I like the palette. I don't necessarily love the look that I came up with, because I was like eager to try all the shades. Don't do what I did. I will say this foundation is a little tacky still. Don't know if that's the skincare or if it's me. Like I said, I'll put the pinned comment down below and I will try and wear it again before this video goes up so I can give you like a 2-day wear test down in the pinned comment. But yeah, let me finish this look up and we can have a final chat. I am all done with my look and I will say I don't love it. I don't love how this looks, and I think part of it is me. Like, I think I botched it with this eye look that I honestly don't love. And I don't think it's the eyeshadow's fault. I think it's me. And something about this foundation, it is a little tacky. I don't know how I feel about that. Like I said, I'll put the pinned comment down below. I'm gonna wear this. I started filming this at 10 o'clock in the morning. I will wear this until 10 o'clock tonight. So I'll do a 12-hour wear test, and I will also wear this another day, maybe with a primer or something, just to see if there's a difference. But I'm not 100% sold on the foundation. I like the shade. I like how it went on. I'm just not 100% sure that I love how it wears now on my skin type. I have a normal skin type. I get a little oily around my nose. I am 38. I do have some fine lines. I don't think that it's gonna be a favorite. I might be wrong. Maybe it is a favorite, who knows? But I like the eyeshadow palette. I like everything that I'm wearing. I just don't know if I love it all together. And I'm not 100% sold on the foundation yet. We'll see how I feel in a bit. And the eyeshadow palette, I don't feel like there was anything personally wrong with the quality. I just don't love how they all look together. But that's me. I did that. I kind of wish that I just done that look that I told you about with the 2 green shadows. I probably would have loved that, but I look nice. This is nice for me to wear throughout the day. I'm not gonna wash it off. I'm gonna wear it for 12 hours. I hope you're having an amazing day. Let me know if you tried any of these products and what you think about them, and I will see you again tomorrow in a new video. Bye.